This is the itinerary for the Johnson family's vacation to Beijing, scheduled for November 18th through 26th of 2016. Let's begin the adventure. The family arrives on the afternoon of Friday, November 18th to Beijing, where they will be greeted by a car service upon arrival. The driver will take them to the hotel room where they'll have some time to settle in before dinner. The family will be staying at the Redwall Garden Hotel in the Dongchen district. We've reserved a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom suite for the family. The hotel includes complimentary Wi-Fi, breakfast buffet, car service, as well as an in-room safe. The family will have a couple of different ways that they can get around town. They can use the hotel's car service. They can also use the city's metro transit system. There are many restaurants to choose from in Beijing. Here is a small list of restaurants to choose from. And these are also the restaurants that we will make reservations for various nights while in Beijing. On Saturday, we thought you might like to enjoy visiting the Hutong Museum. It's very close to the hotel, so just a few minutes walk to the hotel and to the museum. That morning, you can visit the museum, have a lunch, take an afternoon rest, and then have dinner at Dadong at 6 p.m. For the Hutong Museum, a private tour guide is optional. It may not be necessary, but it is certainly available for the family should they choose to have a tour. On Sunday, we figured that many things would be closed. Many of the museums would be closed, but the markets at Wafujing and Jinbao Streets, which is also very close to the hotel, would be kind of cool to explore on a Sunday morning and afternoon. And then we'll make reservations at Sichuan Provincial Government Restaurant that evening. On Monday, we thought that the family could spend the morning at the Beijing Zoo. So after breakfast, they'll head off to the zoo. After seeing the exhibits for a couple of hours, the family could have lunch together. And then Dad's got to shoot off to meet with his Chinese colleagues and they will meet at the Jing'e Brewing Company, where guests will be able to brew their own beer and come up with their own concoctions. Followed by dinner at Duc de China at 7 p.m. The girls, on the other hand, after lunch, after they take a little bit of an afternoon rest at the hotel, they can visit the nearby Ryton Park and then have dinner at vegetarian restaurant King's Joy at 6 p.m. The next day, the entire family will get up bright and early and through Catherine Liu Tours will be picked up from their hotel room at 9 a.m. To begin the 2-hour drive to the Mutianyu section of the Great Wall of China. This is the most child-friendly section. Once at the section of the wall, the family will be able to take a cable car or chairlift to the top. Maybe the cable car might be a little less frightening for the girls. Once they've seen those sights and reach the top, they can have lunch at a local restaurant and then have a walking tour of the wall to become a little bit closer to the experience. The family will depart back for Beijing at 4 p.m. And after a very, very long day, they probably will want to just have dinner at the hotel and keep it pretty low-key. On Wednesday, the family could go to the Sony Explore Science Light and Color Museum. This really kind of energize the older girl a little bit. So it'll be a really interactive way to see what new technologies are occurring, including a robot dog, which the girls might get a really good kick out of. The afternoon, after lunch, the family can head back to the hotel room, maybe take a quick nap, and then have dinner at Susu at 6 p.m. On Thursday, which is Thanksgiving Day in the States, the family could visit the Forbidden City in Tiananmen Square, starting in the morning after breakfast. The Forbidden City and Tiananmen Square are quite close to each other, so they could split their day in half with that. Or instead of walking to Tiananmen Square, if the girls are a little bit tired, the family could head back to the hotel for a little rest before dinner at Hatsune at 6 p.m. On Friday, we're closing out the week with the family visiting the Temple of Heaven. They would be able to take the car service to the temple, explore it a bit, see some sights, have lunch at a local restaurant, maybe head back to the hotel for a quick nap, have dinner at Lei Garden at 6 p.m., and enjoy the rest of their evening. And then Saturday afternoon, we're preparing to head back to San Francisco, where the family will be home sweet home. Just a few travel tips when going to China. Expect limited service in English. I found that apps like Plico or Anki or Fluent U are helpful in translating words as well as formulating basic greetings and conversational sentences. It's best to exchange your currency at the airport, but if you do it at a different location other than the airport, you will most certainly need your passport. Just a couple of etiquette things that might be helpful. If you find that you might need to use a toothpick, use your other hand to cover your mouth, as it's rude to reveal this act to other people. Most Chinese prefer handshakes to hugs. And in China, business cards are very important to people. It's like giving a piece of yourself to someone. So when you receive one, make sure that you take a really good hard look at it and put it in a safe place, and make sure to always thank the giver, as they have really just given you a bit of themselves. And we never write on someone else's business card. At dinner, it's impolite to tap your chopsticks on your bowl, as well as have the spout of the teapot face another person. So you always want to make sure it's either facing you or facing no one. And last but not least, beware of taxi drivers who may try to set a flat rate for your fare, even if it's a short drive. They sometimes might try to take advantage of you. I hope this helps, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful trip. Bye.